The heart lay still on a steel tray, cooling by the second, and everyone in the room knew the clock was already winning. It was 1951, in a quiet American laboratory that smelled of antiseptic and metal, where failure had become routine. Surgeons had learned how to remove organs. They had learned how to transplant them. But between those two steps stretched an invisible enemy: time. Minutes without blood meant death. An organ taken from one body almost always arrived too late to save another. Every attempt ended the same way. Hope lifted, tissue darkened, silence followed. Researchers worked through the night under harsh lamps, their white coats creased, hands raw from ice and disinfectant. They argued softly, recalculated temperatures, adjusted solutions measured down to fractions. The question wasn't how to transplant an organ anymore. It was far more frightening. How do you convince living tissue to wait? Midway through the story, a shift occurred. Someone noticed something unsettling. Cold didn't just slow decay. It slowed life itself. Cells consumed less oxygen. Metabolism faded into a near whisper. If the body could be fooled into thinking time had slowed, maybe the organ could survive the pause between two hearts. They began experimenting with controlled hypothermia. Not freezing, never freezing, but cooling. Carefully, deliberately. Saline solutions were chilled and balanced. Organs were flushed, cleared of blood, and bathed in cold that numbed without killing. The room held its breath. When the preserved organ was finally rewarmed and tested, there was a moment of dread, then movement. Color returned. Function followed. What should have been lifeless responded. That was the breakthrough. For the first time, an organ could be removed from a body, held in suspension, and arrive alive somewhere else. Time, the tyrant that had ruled medicine for centuries, had been wounded. The implications rippled outward. Ambulances could travel farther. Donors and recipients no longer had to share the same building or even the same city. Surgeons could prepare instead of rushing blindly. Lives that once slipped away in minutes could now be saved hours later. But the true weight of the moment wasn't in the lab. It was in the hospital rooms that followed, in the families who waited, in the chests that rose again, in the quiet miracle of a second chance, made possible because a group of exhausted researchers refused to accept that death's schedule was unchangeable. They didn't stop time. They bent it. Just enough. If this story moved you, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. Every interaction helps these forgotten moments of history stay alive.